Hello and welcome to another Delboy film short. Little pet project of mine just to demonstrate and show some of my physical media collection. The format is always going to remain the same. It's trying to be as short as possible. Going to be showing you the box and the physical media itself. Give you a little detail on what my Collectorz Database Software says about the film. Possibly a little clip and my final thoughts at the end. So you know what the film is because you saw the little JPEG picture when you clicked on this. So we'll go to overhead cam and have a little look at the box. Yep, so this is the box I have for Looker. It's part of the premium collection that came from HMV. Believe it's still available. Nice little cardboard box. I've always liked the silver at the top. And the box has always been quite sturdy. But inside you've got the normal keep case. This one is a clear case rather than being blue for Blu-ray. Little bit of information on the film there. A little sparse on extras, but you get the film, obviously, which is mostly what you want. When you open it up, you've got a standard blue disc. There are some extras in here. Just take these out. Just to show you what the inside there is, there's, I think, basically, yeah, little picture of Albert Finney there with an advert for the premium collection. And let's see. So we've got a poster, it would seem. Let's have a little look. Oh, quite big. There we go. If looks could kill. Now, I'm not sure if that's the film poster or whether that is actually the rental picture poster, because I remember renting this back in the 80s when it came out on VHS. So we've got some, what I used to consider called lobby cards, but I don't believe there would have been lobby cards for this. They were starting to dry up a little bit in the 80s. There we are, just some stills with a Warner Brothers on the back. Nice picture there of the 3D model that we'll talk about a little bit later on. And the poster again, in a smaller scale. And that's what you get total for your bucks, your money. And I think we'll drop now to media playback so we can see what my Collectorz Database Software says about it. Now, obviously, many people will use different type of database software. This is not an endorsement. It's not... I'm not sponsored by it. But let's have a little look. What does it say about the plot? It says, plastic surgeon Larry Roberts performs a series of minor alterations on a group of models who are seeking perfection. The operations are a resounding success, but when someone starts killing his beautiful patients, Dr. Roberts becomes suspicious and starts investigating. What he uncovers are the mysterious and perhaps murderous activities of a high-tech company called Digital Matrix. Ooh, doesn't sound too bad, does it? So the cast, Albert Finney. What can we say about Albert Finney? My God. Shame we've now lost him, but he was in a lot of films that my dad and I used to like watching, older type films. This one, I'm not quite sure what his last film was. But it was one that I was sort of like mesmerised a little bit by his performance. You got James Coburn again, a little bit of a well-known and god-type person really as an actor in Hollywood. Saw lots and lots of James Coburn films in the 70s. My God, I did. You got Susan Day, Lee Taylor Young, who I believe had been away from filming for quite a few years. And when it comes to the crew, we've got the writer as Michael Crichton and the director as Michael Crichton. I don't know what else we can say about Michael Crichton. He's been around was around for a long time. I'd loved films like Westworld, Future World, Jurassic Park. I mean, these are all books that he created. This one, I believe, is one that he first is sort of like his first sort of like directing of his own work. And we've got musician Barry DeVorzen. Now, I quite like the music in this, but I only really remember the main tune, to be quite honest, which is a song. It didn't do very well in the charts, but it always stood out for me. So we'll just scroll down and see what it says. The notes say, though sparse in visual effects, it is the first commercial film to attempt to use a computer-generated, three-dimensional, solid-looking model of a whole human body. However, as with its predecessors, Future World, Star Wars and Alien, this was an example of CGI representing CGI, and only depicted on CRT screens in the film. Rather than being used as a special effect, the model had no skeletal or facial movements and was not a character. Looker was also the first film to create three-dimensional shading with a computer, months before the release of the better-known Tron. Production. Crichton started thinking about this subject of the film in 1975. He says he went into Los Angeles Computer Company to find out how they could create copies in commercials without looking too ridiculous, and discovered a company in Texas was already doing it, called Tomography. Looker became an early production of the Ladd Company. It was Lee Taylor Young's first film in 8 years. Filming took place in the Goldwyn Studios, the Burbank Studios, and on location in the Los Angeles area. In 1991, James Coburn said, "My part was pretty much on the cutting room floor. They really pissed that film away. They had Albert Finney running around in a security guard's uniform throughout the film. Didn't really make sense. It could have been a good picture. It was about how television controls. It was about how commercials manipulate people to buy products. Politicians, whatever. But they cut the film up for a television print. I don't know why they did that. They spent some bread on this picture. It was a 12 million production. That's not much today, but back then it was a pretty big budget." At the box office, poorly received by critics. The film flopped with a box office income of 3.3 million against a budget of approximately 8 to 12 million. The film fared better on a rental video and sell-through and gained a moderate cult status. In its later years, critics have now cited the film as being ahead of its time, with a simple nod to artificial intelligence and commercial manipulation. Wow, quite a lot to take in there. So we're now just going to watch a little bit of a clip. Hope you like this, and then we'll end it with my thoughts.
I want it. You probably think I'm beautiful, Dr. Roberts, but I'm not.
I want it.
My nose is 0.2 millimeters too narrow, and my cheekbones are 0.4 millimeters too high.
I want it too.
I do television commercials. They want a certain look.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I'm the perfect female type. Hi, I'm Cindy. I'm the perfect female type.
You don't know what's going on. This is more than commercials. They're killing all the girls that are perfect.
I did surgery on several girls a few months back. There have been some suicides.
What have you got me mixed up in? I have a right to know if somebody's trying to kill me.
Don't look at the screen.
If looks could kill, Looker.
And there we have the clip. So my thoughts, well, I never saw this at the pictures, and I remember getting this out on VHS rental, you know, from all the rental stores at the time, and thinking this was really quite good. Sort of like a high-end straight-to-video type film. I later found out that it was a picture that was actually at the pictures at the time. And I really quite enjoyed it. Maybe it was my age, I don't know, but I always thought that it didn't look too bad. It moved okay. I really like the song that's played at the beginning of the film, and I suppose also there is some scantily clad models in it, me being of a very young age at the time. But looking back at it now, I look at it now as, being ahead of its time a little bit, when we consider how AI is being used at the moment, when we look at how commercials have manipulated us. It has something of relevance today. I think I also remember Movie Drome showing this under Alex Cox back in the day on BBC Two, late night. And other than that, I found it really sort of like a sort of a cult film. Really, it's the first film I've probably shown which is considered to be a flop, but as it basically stated in the box office section, it's become quite regarded as better than it originally was reviewed for. And with that, I'm going to say salute and thank you very much for watching this. Hope you enjoyed it, and roll on to the next one. Unless I'm replaced by AI, who knows? Thanks, salute. Thanks very much. Bye bye.